Hi everyone, welcome to Evie's Toy House, and today we're making a My Little Pony custom. But I thought we'll do something a little bit different today. I have Rainbow Dash and Soren here, and I thought it would be really interesting if we turn Soren into Rainbow Dash, or rather turn Rainbow Dash into a boy. So I think this is going to be a really fun custom, and I can't wait to see what Rainbow Dash looks like as a boy. Alright, let's get started. So the first thing we want to do is remove the wings because these are removable, and let's remove the tail. For this custom, I'm going to be using some clay to replace the tail and mane. You can just cut it off and push the little stuff in. Go. And unfortunately, we're also going to cut off this little mohawk here. I'm going to cut it as close to the scalp as possible. We'll also cover this up with some clay, so for this custom, we won't need to remove the head. My scissors not very good, is it? There we go, much better. Next, we're going to paint over the artwork on his body with white. This will cover up the dark spots and make it more even for Rainbow Dash's light blue color. Using some air-dried clay, we're going to add a strip of clay to cover up the bits of hair remaining on his head. For the front part of the mane, we're going to keep Rainbow Dash's look. We're going to take flat teardrop pieces of clay and build it up to form the front part of the mane. I prefer to use air-dried clay over the oven-baked ones because you don't have to bake the pony. However, air-dried clay is thicker and you can't make very fine details with it. But for our purposes, it works just fine, and there's no risk of burning or melting the pony, which I've done before. Here at the back of the head, we're going to add a rectangular block of clay all the way down the neck to form a mohawk. Taking my X-Acto knife, we're going to cut 4 slits down the block. We're going to separate out the pieces a bit and give it some space. While this dries, let's go make the tail. For the tail, we're going to stack a few tapered logs together. We'll start with one main piece and stack and blend a few smaller pieces on top and a few on the bottom. If you like this video and want to see more, make sure to subscribe. I post customs, DIY, and toy review videos every day. On the end here, we're going to stick a small craft stick into the back. We can attach the other end of the stick to the back of the pony. Okay friends, the clay on the pony has dried. Here is Rainbow Dash so far. I think our boy Rainbow Dash will look really awesome once he's painted. Let's go ahead and remove the tail and wings so that we can paint the body. We're going to paint the body with pale blue with a bit of sailing sky to darken it. We're going to paint the entire body and around the eyes. We'll keep the eyes and recolor it for Rainbow Dash. Let's not forget to paint the wings blue. Next, let's paint the mane. Rainbow Dash has rainbow colored hair, so up here on the top, let's start with yellow. Then orange. And then red on the very top. Here in the back, we're going to paint each segment. We'll start with green, then blue, then purple. Down here on the very bottom, we have an extra section, so let's go ahead and paint it dark purple. I'm going to do the same with the tail, but upside down. From the top, we're going to start with purple, then blue, green, orange, yellow, and finally red. Here on the side, we're going to paint Rainbow Dash's cutie mark, starting with a cloud. And then the lightning bolts. Finally, we'll change the eye color from green to magenta. Alright everyone, and we are done. Here is our Rainbow Dash. What do you think? So we kept many parts of the female Rainbow Dash. We kept the front part of the mane, and of course we also kept the tail. But we did change the back of the mane more into a mohawk, which I think looks great. And just to compare, let's put Rainbow Dash right in front of our other Rainbow Dash. So as you can see, there is quite a bit of a difference. The male ponies tend to have a more square snout up here in the front and also have a broader chest area. So the legs are also a little bit stronger, wider on the bottom, and also just broader chest. And at least this pony is a little bit bigger. So let me know down below in the comment section what you think of my boy Rainbow Dash, and is there another pony you would like me to transform? If there is, post a picture of a pony that you want me to do and tag me on Instagram. And as always, if you want to see more videos like this, make sure to subscribe and hit that bell button. Alright, I'll see you guys next time. Bye! Hi everyone, welcome to Evie's Toy House. In my last custom video, you guys really enjoyed watching me turn Rainbow Dash into a boy. And many of you wanted me to do the same to Twilight Sparkle. So today that's what we're going to do. I have another Soren figure here, and we are going to turn him into Twilight Sparkle as a boy. Are you guys ready? Alright, let's get started. Let's start by taking off the wings here. We'll reattach them later. And we're going to remove the mane and also the tail. And for Twilight Sparkle, we're also going to build a horn. So let's go ahead and cut off the tail and the mane. And this time I'm using better scissors, so it shouldn't take as long to cut off the mane. There we go, just like that. Next, using white, we're going to paint over the image on his body to cover up the dark areas. Then taking a strip of air-dried clay, we will cover up the remains of his hair and create an area on the head to attach his mane. Starting on the front, we will add small flat rectangular strips of clay to build up the bangs. We want the front to be wider than the back. To add a horn, we're going to cut off this piece in the middle first, attach the horn, and then add the pieces of hair back. We're going to add more pieces of clay to make sure that the hair blends in. Here on the back, we're going to measure out a piece of clay for the mane. Going to flatten out the outside edge to make it thinner. Then, taking an X-Acto knife, we're going to cut out strips. Being careful not to cut all the way to the end because we want it to stay attached. Using scissors, I'm trimming it so that it's not too long. Then, we're going to attach it to the head in sections so that they curve along the neck. Using my X-Acto knife, we're going to make the cut a bit deeper and closer to the body. Okay, here he is so far. What do you think of Twilight Sparkle's mane? Now for the tail. We're going to take a rectangular block of clay and we're going to cut out rectangular strips. We need 3 large ones, 3 medium ones, and 3 small ones. Taking the 3 large ones, we're going to stack them side by side and then start shaping it downwards and narrow it on one end to look like a tail. On top, we'll layer the 3 medium strips and continue to shape it. Finally, on the very top, we'll layer the 3 small strips. To the pony, we're going to stick a short craft stick into the back and attach the tail. Here's Twilight so far. The mane and tail are all dried and we are ready to paint. We're going to start with the body. We're going to paint it a light purple. We're going to paint the entire body, the head including the eyes and the horn. Then for the eyes, we'll paint the white circles first. Follow up with dark purple irises. Then large black pupils. Finally, we'll give it 2 reflective dots. Next, we will paint the cutie mark, starting with a large star and then the smaller white stars. Now let's paint the mane. We're going to start with a bit of magenta, both on the front bangs and also on the mane on the back of the head. Then we'll paint the dark purple bit of hair, also on the bangs and the back of the head. After that, we're going to paint the rest of the hair dark blue. And before I forget, we're going to go back and line the eyes with black. Finally, let's do the tail. Similar to the mane, we're going to start with a magenta stripe. We're going to paint it on a medium piece of clay in the middle of the tail. We'll paint the dark purple underneath on the same strip of clay. Then we'll paint the rest of the tail dark blue. Alright everyone, and we are done. Here is Twilight Sparkle as a boy. Oh my gosh, look at him. So I think he turned out really great. Here's an up-close look. As you can see, his eyes are much simpler than Twilight Sparkle's eyes. He still has the bangs and the 3 colors in his hair. Here on the back, his mane is much shorter and they're in large chunks. His tail is very similar. We kind of kept that chunky look, and I think it looks a lot more masculine this way. And just to compare, we do have our female Twilight Sparkle right here. So as you can see, her eyes are much different, and also her tail and her hair is a lot softer and more feminine. Alright everyone, so let me know down below in the comment section what you think of my boy Twilight Sparkle, and also which pony do you want to see me turn into a boy next. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a big thumbs up and share with your friends. Alright, I'll see you next time. Bye! Hi everyone, welcome to Evie's Toy House. If you've been on my channel recently, you probably saw my videos making Rainbow Dash and Twilight Sparkle as boys. Today we have another stallion. This one is Big Mac. And we're going to turn him into Applejack, which I think is really fitting because Big Mac is Applejack's big brother. So I'm really excited about this one. Let's go ahead and get started. go ahead and take him out of his package. Big Mac is such a cool pony, but I think he'll look even cooler as a boy Applejack. So the first thing I'm going to do is remove the tail. So here it goes. And of course we need to remove the mane. We want to cut it as close as we can to the scalp. The next thing we want to do is paint him white. So he has a lot of graphics over here, and he's also a dark red color. Applejack is a lighter orange color, and so to help the color come through, we're going to use a few layers of white to cover up all of this color. 2 coats of white should be enough. As you can see, the first coat is a bit splotchy, and you can still see the red underneath. When painting the head, we're going to paint around the eyes. Here's Applejack so far. I think he's looking pretty good. Next, we're going to build a mane and tail with air dry clay. For the front part of the mane, we're going to use a large teardrop shape. We're going to make it flat and turn the tip to the side. Putting it on the head, we can use our X-Acto knife and cut it just right. Finally, we'll smooth all of the sides and then attach it to the top of the head. The back side of the mane is pretty simple. We're going to use a long log and square it off. Then we're going to cut it above the shoulders. The tail will be similar to Applejack's, except without the hair tie. Using a teardrop shape, we're going to round off the bottom on one end, attach a craft stick to the other end, and wait for it to dry. Here is Applejack so far. As you can see, the body is all white and the mane is now dried. Let's go ahead and paint. We'll be using a light orange paint for the body. We'll probably need a few coats. Here's the first coat. The male ponies are larger, so there's more surface area to paint. When painting the head, again, we're going to paint around the eyes. But we will overlap a tiny bit because we don't want a line of white between the orange and the eyes. We will clean up the eye later. By the third coat, it's starting to look very uniform. Taking some white, we're going to repaint the eyes a little bit to clean it up. And then reline the eyes with black. We'll paint the mane with bright yellow, starting with a large brush to paint most of the mane, and then we'll finish the details with a more narrow brush. We'll also paint the tail yellow. Using red, we're going to draw in the cutie mark, which is 3 red apples. And add some green leaves. Alright everyone, so we have girl Applejack here. Are you ready to see boy Applejack? So, here he is. Oh my gosh, look at him. So he is a much bigger pony and he has a more square face. But other than that, the colors are the same as girl Applejack. Here's an up-close look at his face. So his eyes are the same as Big Mac. We added some freckles here around the eyes just like Applejack's. Here's the other side. He also has the same mane as Applejack, but back here it's cropped much shorter. Over here is his cutie mark, which is the same, and we also have his tail, which is a cropped version of Applejack's hair. So it's not tied up, but it is rounded on the bottom. So now we have 3 boy ponies of the main 6. We have Applejack, Twilight Sparkle, and of course, Rainbow Dash. So who do you think we should make next? We have 3 more to go. We have Pinkie Pie, Fluttershy, and Rarity. Comment below to vote for the next one. And as always, if you like this video, make sure to subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye! Hi everyone, welcome to Evie's Toy House. Today we're making a new custom pony. Just looking at Twilight Sparkle, Rainbow Dash, and Applejack, you probably guessed that we're going to be doing another boy transformation. So we have Soren here, and we're going to transform him into a boy Fluttershy. I think Fluttershy as a boy is going to look great. Let's get started. So the first thing we're going to do here is cut off his mane. And if you have not yet checked out Rainbow Dash, Twilight Sparkle, and Applejack into boys, make sure to check that out after this video. They were a lot of fun to make, and I hope you enjoyed them too. Here goes the tail. Alright, let's go ahead and cover all of this up with some white paint. This will take a few coats to get a nice even white color. Next, before we completely cover the eyes, we're going to repaint over them so that we can make sure the eyes are even. I think this is the hardest part of painting ponies, getting the eyes to be even and the same size on both sides. After painting the whites of the eyes, we're going to paint the irises. Then with black, we will line the eyes. The eyes for boy ponies are very simple. Using black, we will also paint in the pupils. Then with white, we'll add 2 white dots to each eye. Next, let's work on the mane. Because we're making a boy, I want to keep the same look, but shorten the mane a bit. Even though some boys like to wear their hair long, I thought it would be too similar to Fluttershy as a girl. On the back, it's going to go just a little bit over the shoulder. On the front, we'll have it flip outwards around the cheek area. Next, we'll need a large block of clay to make the tail. We'll start first by rolling it into a log with tapered ends. Similar to the mane, we'll make it look similar to Fluttershy's, but a little bit shorter. Now let's paint. We'll start with the body and paint it yellow. Here on the head, we're going to take off the bangs on the front so that it's easier to paint underneath. Can't forget the wings. Next, we'll paint the mane light pink. For the tail, we also painted light pink. And of course, we can't forget the cutie mark. We start with some green, and then add the pink. Alright everyone, are you ready to meet Mr. Fluttershy? And here he is! Take a look! So here is an up-close look of his face. I actually repainted the eyes so they're more green. Previously the paint was showing up too blue. The mane in the front here is much shorter, so it flips out just above the cheek. Over here in the back mane here is also shorter. It flips just right over the shoulders. Over here is the cutie mark and of course the tail. The tail is pretty much the same as Fluttershy's except it does not touch the floor anymore. And just to compare, we do have Fluttershy here. So as you can see, Fluttershy's hair is much longer. And also the tail is much longer and has a little bit more volume. So Fluttershy is now ready to join the crew. So of the 4 ponies that we have so far, which one is your favorite? Let me know down below in the comment section, and I'll see you next time. Bye! Hi everyone, welcome to Evie's Toy House, and today we're back to making more My Little Pony customs. If you've been to my channel recently, you probably saw these custom videos where I turned Fluttershy, Twilight Sparkle, Applejack, and Rainbow Dash into boys. So if you have not checked those videos out, make sure to do so because these were a lot of fun and I think they turned out really great. Today is Rarity's turn. So we have Big Mac here and he kindly is going to allow us to transform him into a boy version of Rarity. What do you think? Do you think he'll look good? Let's find out. Go ahead and put Rarity back here and take Big Mac. And start off by cutting off his mane because we're going to replace it with some air dried clay. And of course we also need to cut off his tail. Next we're going to completely cover the pony in white. This is going to take a few coats because Big Mac's color is very dark. Next, let's repaint the eyes. Starting with white, we'll repaint the whites of the eyes. Then using black, we'll line the top of the eyes. Using blue, we'll paint the irises. On top of the blue, we'll paint black pupils. Finally on top, we'll add 2 white dots to each eye. Next, let's paint the cutie mark. We'll paint 3 blue diamonds on the flank. Then we'll draw in the details with dark blue. Now let's rebuild the mane and tail. Starting with a long strip of air dried clay, we're going to twist it into a graceful curl. While the tail is drying, on top of the head, we'll start with a thin strip of clay to cover up the stubble. Then we'll take another piece of clay and press it into a leaf shape. Taking the tip, we'll curl it up and press it on top of the head. With an X-Acto knife, we'll clean up the area next to the ears. And also make some room for the horn. For the back of the neck, we'll do something similar. We're going to add a small curl right above the shoulders. Then we're going to blend everything in so it looks like it's one piece. After taking a look at a pony, I think boy Rarity would have longer mane in the front. So I'm going to redo it. I'm going to replace the front mane with a fuller and longer piece of clay. And here is Rarity so far. What do you think? The only thing we have to do is paint the mane and tail. Using bright purple, we're going to paint the mane and tail. Alright everyone, so are you ready to meet Mr. Rarity? And here he is! Take a look! Oh my goodness, I think he looks very, very handsome. So we made his hair a little bit longer than the other stallions. He has a bit of hair coming down here over the shoulders, and he also has quite a bit of hair here up on the front. So I think that makes him look very, very stylish. Over here on the back, his tail is actually very similar to Girl Rarity, but I think it works really well for him. Here's an up-close look of his eyes. He has very big blue eyes, just like Girl Rarity, and I just love the way his hair looks. Look at this, so stylish. Alright everyone, so let me know down below in the comment section which one of these stallions is your favorite so far. We have Rarity, we have Applejack, we have Rainbow Dash, Twilight Sparkle, and of course Fluttershy. And the last pony that we need to make is Pinkie Pie. So make sure to subscribe and hit the bell button so that you'll know when he comes out. See you soon. Bye. Hi everyone, welcome to Evie's Toy House. If you've been watching the videos on my channel the past few weeks, you probably know what's coming. So lately, I've been making a lot of custom ponies, turning the main 6 into stallions or into boys. So we've already done 5 and now we're doing number 6, Pinkie Pie. She's the last of the main 6 to transform. So today we are going to be using Big Mac again, and the reason is because he doesn't have wings. Pinkie Pie is an earth pony, so he'll be perfect for Pinkie Pie. Alright, so let's go ahead and get started. Let's take Big Mac here and cut off his tail and mane. Here goes his tail, and here's his mane. Alright, there he is. Now we're going to paint his body white. We're adding this layer of white paint to cover up the red on Big Mac, and also the image that's printed on the side of his body. Here's the pony so far. Most of the red is covered up. We don't need it to be perfect because we're going to paint over it again. For the body, we'll mix 2 types of pinks, rose and baby pink. After mixing the colors, this is what we have. Now we're going to repaint the entire pony. Next, we're going to reshape the eyes. Using white, we're going to draw 2 large ovals. Over the white, we'll paint the sky blue irises. Then we'll line the eyes and add the black pupils. To finish the eyes, we'll add 2 white dots. Next, let's go ahead and add the cutie mark. Pinkie Pie's cutie mark is 1 yellow and 2 blue balloons. Now for the mane and tail, we'll start with a small strip of air-dry clay right down the back of the head. This will cover up the stubble and also give us some clay for the rest of the hair to stick to. Starting from the neck, we're going to add small balls of clay and work our way up the head. I'm not going to make it too big because I think boy Pinkie Pie's hair won't be as big as girl Pinkie Pie. Once all the pieces are in, we'll blend it all together so that it is seamless. Here on the very front, we'll taper it and add a small curl. For the tail, we'll have a bigger piece of clay. After shaping it, we're going to add a craft stick to it so that we can stick it into the back of Pinkie Pie. Before the clay dries, let's draw a few lines into it with a nail dotting pen. Now that the clay is dried, let's paint. I typically start with a larger paintbrush for all the large areas that I need to paint, and then I'll come back around with a smaller brush to touch up the areas that I missed and also the areas in tighter spots. Alright everyone, are you ready to see boy Pinkie Pie? Well, here he is. Take a look. I think I did a pretty good job with the colors. The Pinkie Pie that I made is very similar in color to the Pinkie Pie toy that we have here. So here is boy Pinkie Pie up close. As you can see, his eyes are much simpler, and also his hair is not as big as girl Pinkie Pie, but he still has that little bit of a twist up here on his forehead. Back here is his big fluffy tail and also his cutie mark. So now finally we have all main 6 ponies. We have Twilight Sparkle here. We have Applejack, Fluttershy, Rainbow Dash, and Rarity. So, which one is your favorite? Let me know down below in the comment section. And I'll see you next time. Bye!